back to Crossroads. You know, this job is wonderful because I've gotten to meet so many great people. Smokey Robinson, Cheryl Lee Ralph, and now my man, Montel Williams, is here with us today on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, brother.
Smokey Robinson. I'm in that same company?
Man, the legendary. You're doing all right.
I'm doing all right.
Now, what are you doing here in the Twin Cities?
Well, I was here this past week because I was promoting a program that a lot of your viewers have probably seen the commercial for. It's called the Partnership of Prescription Assistants.
Yeah.
I'm on this bus. You've seen me with the bus.
The big bus.
It's a Help Us Here Express bus. And what this program is really the biggest private sector initiative in the history of America. In 2 years, this program called the Partnership of Prescription Assistants has given out medication to 5 million people in this country, totaling about $11 billion worth of free or nearly free medication in 2 years. Anybody who's watching this program right now who is uninsured, doesn't have prescription medication coverage, I don't care if you're 3 years old or you're 90, this is not just for senior citizens, this is for anybody who needs prescription medication coverage. There's no reason why a person who's watching this today who's ill has to make a choice between buying food and buying their medication. You can get it today if you call the following number, 1-888-4PPA now, or pparx.org. There are operators standing by. Watch this. In 10 minutes, you call this number. 7 out of the 10 people who call the number qualify. Wow. And in 3 weeks, you can receive medication to your doorstep for free or nearly free. This is amazing, and people don't know about it. And, you know, we have 49 million people uninsured or underinsured in America without prescription medication coverage. This program in 2 years has helped 10% of them, 5 million. So there's no excuse for somebody out there right now who needs medication to not have it.
Now, how did you get involved in this? Because I know on your show, the Montel Williams Show, you have built a ministry around helping people live better lives, solving their problems or helping them to solve their problems, giving them the tools they need to live a better life. How did you get involved with something like this?
This was amazing. It came really kind of through the show. Billy Tozen, who's the president of PhRMA, the Pharmaceutical Research Companies of America, it's a lobbying organization. Bill Tozen survived cancer, a very, very rare form of cancer. And if it wasn't for medication, he wouldn't be here today. He came on the show to talk about that, and in the middle of that conversation, in a commercial break, he said, look, we got this program that's coming that you could really help us out with, because I know people understand your battle with MS and how vocal you've been. We could use your help. And I said, well, does the program work? After we talked a little bit, and he guaranteed that at least 50% of the people who would call the program would get the medication. I said, let's go. They've done better than that. It's 7 out of the 10 people who call the program. And this is amazing because everybody's worried about Medicaid, Medicare, not being able to get prescription medication. The number one group helped by this program are single mothers who had to make the choice between getting medication for themselves or putting food on their tables. So right now, those choices don't have to be made anymore. If you call that number, now last week we were here with the bus, so people could walk on the bus and sign up themselves. But I'm telling you, 10 minutes of your time. Do it for your mother. Do it for your aunt. Do it for your Uncle Billy. Do it for your cousin who just graduated from college who got hurt and doesn't have coverage. He can get the coverage and get medication right now.
Now, you're passionate about this. You were passionate about your show. That's why we tuned in every day to see you, you know, doing what you do best, which is helping people. And you're not going to be doing the show anymore. I'm heartbroken.
I got to tell you what's up with this. What's so crazy is that this is one of the longest running shows in the history of television. As a matter of fact, you know, I think I've already made the Museum of Television and Radio History because I'm the longest running African American male in the history of television worldwide to have a show with his own name. So it's been great. But what it is, I'm under a 17-year-old contract, and the company that I signed my original contract with doesn't even exist anymore. So when it was time for us to figure out and think about next year, it became almost financially unachievable. We couldn't really come to an agreement. I had 24 addendums. I didn't want to make 25. So I'm going to stop the production of this show, but I'm not going anywhere. Here's what's crazy. You're going to see the finale of the Montel Williams Show in about a week here in May. But over the summer, you will get original episodes. Because I got about 60 shows in the can that have not aired. So those are all going to air until September. And then from September of 08 until September of 09, you're going to get the best of Montel for a full year.
So you're not really going
I'm not going anywhere. And then, you know, I can't tell you this part yet, but I'll come back and tell you some secrets. In a couple of weeks. See, I'm going to be on another show, competing with my...
Competing with your own show? He's going to... Montel versus Montel. Okay, I won't tell it.
It'll be like Montelevision.
It's a win-win situation.
There's Montel Television. I can't get away from him.
It'll be split screen. Montel,
I'm going to be in prime time. I'm going to be in daytime. I'm going to be in all your time.
Wow.
Be careful.
Now, there are a lot of young black kids who look up to you. I know, we let the nieces and the nephews and the baby watch you and say, there's a positive African-American role model right there for you to look up to. Strong, educated, speaks well, got his own thing, making us proud. It means so much to us to see you on TV.
Thank you. And I guess I'm glad and I hope that people understand one thing. The fact that the show is ending right now in this format, I'm not going away. I'm not going to go away from the media perspective, but I'm also not going to go away with championing causes. I'm going to continue to do this. And one of the things that I think we need to make sure we pay attention to right now, if you will say it this way, and we've just said it this way, I'm a positive role model for African Americans, but I'm going to switch that and say, there's not a family in this country and not a parent in this country that would not have wished that their child had done some of the things that I've done. I'm a graduate of the United States Naval Academy, and I served 22 years in the military supporting and defending this Constitution of the United States. I spent the last 17 years on the air doing a television show that, contrary to everybody else's belief, focused on just issues and dealt with the things that we need to talk about in our society today. So I think I'm not just a role model for African American kids. I think that, and I don't want to be a role model, I think that I can help to get some messages across right now at a time when we need some very serious messages put across. Because take a look at the daily diatribe of what's coming out of a lot of the pundits right now. It's an ugly time in America, a really ugly time. We're refocusing on race, and we're refocusing on divisiveness, and we're refocusing on hate, where we really should be focusing on the future and the fact that it took all of us to get to where we are, and it's going to take all of us to get out of this. And, this voice is not going to go away.
And you've got the book to help us do that. Talk to me about
that. That's been great. This is my 7th book, and I just signed a deal to write my 8th book that I got to write next month. So I got to get busy.
You got work to do.
Yeah, I got some work to do, but I wrote a book this last year, which is called Living Well with Montel, and I did this deliberately because so many people come up to me all the time and say, Montel, how do you do as well as you do with MS? And I have MS. And at my age, and how am I doing as well as I'm doing? I guinea pigged myself for about 2 years doing an eating regimen and a diet and an exercise regimen that I thought would impact some of the symptoms of my illness. And after 2 years, it has. And I wrote that in a book and shared it with you because I figure if I can make myself do this well, 51 years old with MS, what would it do for you? So the book is called Living Well with Montel. It's supported online with an entire online support mechanism of diets and exercise routines and regimens. You can come up on Living Well with Montel. And over the course of the next year, I'm going to be bringing you an entire brand of products under the Living Well mode to help make your life better and make your health better, period.
Now, how is it that you've come into this realm of what you do for a living? Your whole goal is to help people. How do you go from being in the military 22 years to saying, I'm going to help America?
But let's back up. I started out in the military. Here's something crazy about me. If you want to go back and follow my history, okay, watch this. As a child, I played music. I was in a band. I did all these kind of things. But I was also the president of my class for 2 years in a row. I was a student on the Board of Education in my county. At age 16, got voted on the Board of Education to help deal with issues with kids and youth. That was almost, I shouldn't say, but 35 years ago when I did that. That's been my moniker. That's been what motivates me in life is we are not put here to do things for ourselves. I don't care what religion you believe in. It's what we do for the least of us that will help get us there. There are all kinds of sayings that every religion has, but we shouldn't be living here if you're just about you. You should be living here to try to make life better for all of us. So anything that I can do in that realm, that's what I have done and will continue to do. My 17 years in the military was to support and defend our Constitution. My 17 years in this talk show has been to get information into people's hands that will make their life better. When I realize that I have MS, rather than sit back and say I have MS, no, I sit back and say I have MS, and MS will never have me, and I'm going to teach it how not to have you or any chronic illness that I have you. That's what life's about. If we're marking time, there's no reason to be here.
Wow. Montel Williams.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother, for being here.
No, thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you guys don't go anywhere. I don't know how we're going to top this. But stick around. Long Crossroads is next.
Call the PPA.
Yeah, call the PPA.
Okay.